This isn't supposed to be a full instructional video, just more to help people out as the text-only instructions seem to be a little bit confusing. First of all, the screen needs to be the one with the mount in the back with the adapters. If you get the screens that have the cables coming out the side, they won't fit. It needs to be this kind of screen. When you print the first part of the screen, you're going to have the bigger part of the bezel on the bottom, not the top. So you'll notice it's right because the little jog will be in this little cutout right here. You would then install this piece, the back of the screen. It's in two parts. The first of which is for the bottom side. This isn't called out yet in the wiki, but it's a checking M2.5 by 8 screws, 4 of them, that I'm using to attach this part. So quickly attach that. Doing this one-handedly. Okay. Then you would put the 40-pin cable connectors. You would put that all in at this point, and your power. I don't have a proper power cable yet to route around, so right now I'm just going to leave that as is, just for the example. Then you would put this other piece at the top and screw that in. Again, these are the other 2 screws that I referenced of the 4 of the M2.5 by 8. I'm not going to put those in all the way. This is just for an example. Hold on a sec. Okay, so it'll look kind of like this when it's done. The other parts of the print, these 2 pieces, they kind of just attach into each other so that it becomes one big longer piece. You then put the load cell with the arrow facing down, and you put the 2 screws. Oop. Yeah, there's different calls for 10mm or 15mm load cell. I have the 10mm one. There are some references to a load cell that only has 1 screw on each side. That is not recommended for this and isn't accounted for. This piece holds the 10 or the 15mm without a problem because one of them is slotted. So you put the 2 screws in. This is the that's the M4 by 25. So I put 2 of them in there. You run the 4 wires into the, what do they call this? The load cell adapter. I can't look it up right now. Following the wiring diagram, which I'm not really going to go over, but this is my version of it. It's messy for testing purposes, but whatever. And the plate, which goes with the NFC sensor. The next part is actually the let's put the 40-pin adapter properly in here. Again, referencing that I'm missing the USB cable, which would come in through here and go right up to the screen. Let's get this. It slides in from the top at an angle, and you'll see where it kind of just channels in. This is really hard to do with one hand. Hold on one second. Okay, so you'll see that it slots in there. The call out is to put then 2 self-tapping screws, one on each side here. down at the bottom. That'll make it so the screen doesn't come back up. Right now it's still loose, even though it's kind of held in place. So then you're at this point, again, the USB cable would be coming out. Let's talk about the scale now. So this part, you actually have to print a different version based on which screw type load cell you have, the 10 or the 15 millimeter. Again, this is the 10 millimeter, so I put the other two screws in, the same as the first reference, the M4 by 25. You run those through here, and you're going to attach it to the load cell underneath to the other two holes like this. But before doing that, it's easier to do it this way, to install the sensor in like this. You're going to attach it to the pegs that are in here, kind of like that. Again, also still very hard to do one-handed. And then on top of that, you're going to put the extra piece, the plastic piece like this. And it would go like that. And I'm not pushing it in all the way, but you get the idea. And then the other piece, that's this one, gets this piece right here, just goes here to cover up the build, kind of like that. And then this piece gets screwed in here with the lip closer to the screen. And that's pretty much it. Again, not a full installation tutorial, just kind of helping out a little bit since I see a lot of questions. Well, that's it. Bye-bye.